It's been a long time coming, but the Google Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL are finally official, and if you're a Pixel fan looking at upgrading to the latest and greatest this fall, there is one obvious question. Should you get the baby Pixel with its 5.5-inch display, or the biggie Pixel with its 6.3-inch screen? And are there any other trade-offs like battery life or feature set? There is more to these phones than just the size difference, so stick around for a while and we'll take a closer look. First, let's quickly run through what's the same across both models. Like the past couple of years of Pixels, the core specs and feature set is the same whether you go big or small. Both Pixel 3 models have the same Gorilla Glass 5 construction and the same OLED display quality, though as I'll explain later, the display resolution and shape is a bit different. The internals are also identical, Snapdragon 845 platform, 4GB of RAM and 64 or 128GB of storage in both Pixels. And you'll get the same three color options too, just black, clearly white, or not pink. The camera and connectivity features are also identical, same dual selfie setup, and same really promising 12MP rear shooter with the Pixel Visual Core. And it's almost stating the obvious, but of course the Android 9 Pie plus Google Assistant software experience is the same in both Pixels too. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get to the core of what's different in these two models. Obviously the XL screen is a lot bigger, but since we're dealing with different aspect ratios here, a more detailed explanation is worthwhile. The small Pixel has a 5.5-inch display diagonal and an 18:9 aspect ratio. That's the same aspect as last year's Pixel 2 XL, and in a lot of ways the 3 basically resembles a shrunken down 2 XL. Unlike the smaller Pixel 2, there are no huge vertical bezels this time. In fact, the overall footprint of the small Pixel 3 is even less than the Pixel 2, while boasting a bigger screen and a larger battery than that phone. Seriously, this small Pixel 3 does feel like a very one-handable phone. Over on the Pixel 3 XL, you've got a slightly taller 18.5:9 aspect ratio, but with a sizable screen notch up top. So comparing the 5.5-inch diagonal to the 6.3-inch is a bit of a lopsided comparison, because the aspect ratio is different and the XL loses some space to the cutout. It's not a straight apples-to-apples comparison like, say, the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. In terms of device footprint though, the Pixel 3 XL is almost exactly the same as the 2 XL, so if you're familiar with that device you'll know what to expect. The display resolution is different too, of course, and slightly higher on the 3 XL with a higher pixel density to boot. That means if you're big on Daydream VR, the XL will give you a slightly better experience, but elsewhere the display specs are evenly matched with the same super high contrast ratio and HDR support. Google has put a lot of effort into improving the OLED displays of both Pixel 3s after the fiasco of the Pixel 2 XL screen last year. Check out our main hands-on video for more on that. Naturally, the battery size diverges too between these two phones. The small Pixel 3 gets a battery capacity upgrade compared to the equivalent model last year, while the 3 XL's is ever so slightly smaller. For the XL, it's a downgrade on paper, but the efficiency of the new processor and display should more than offset that. I'd be surprised if the 3 XL didn't at least match the 2 XL in real-world battery life. And Google's own battery numbers show that in day-to-day use there shouldn't be a huge difference between these two phones, at least not as much as there was last year between the Pixel 2 and 2 XL. For what it's worth, your charging options are also the same whichever one you pick, USB PD 2.0 wired charging or Qi wireless charging in both models. With wired charging, both are quoted as having 7 hours of use from 15 minutes of charge. Finally, the price. The Pixel 3 starts at $799 in the US, a big bump up from the Pixel 2 there, and the Pixel 3 XL starts at $899. Obviously you'll pay more on top of that for the 128GB version of either device. Both phones are more expensive than their predecessors, but the $150 hike for the Pixel 3 compared to the $50 bump for the 3 XL means that both models are closer together this year in terms of price, and that makes the choice between them perhaps less about money and more about what you actually want out of a phone. Hit the comments and let us know which model of Pixel 3 you choose, and make sure to check out our main hands-on video and subscribe so you don't miss our full Pixel 3 review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.